Hello, my name is Ryder Searle, and today I will be analyzing this lesson plan for a first grade science class. And so in this lesson plan, they are talking about the life cycle of a plant. So I like the organization of it. It starts off, as you can see right here, just kind of with the overall lesson plan of the day. From seed to flower, students will learn all about the life cycle of a plant in this science lesson. So it just says what the class is going to do today, what they'll discover, what they're going to do, and then at the end here it says with new vocabulary words. So vocab words were something that we learned this week that were really essential for classes to learn and how you deliver that. And so I like that she includes new vocabulary words. And I think some of these key words and key terms that this first grade class is going to learn right here is seed, roots, plant, flower. So I think that is really good. I think that's awesome that she includes these terms. I think something that would be super helpful for first graders is to say all these words and then maybe have like a definition of what they are and the whole class can kind of say it together. I think that's super helpful for first graders as they can see the word and they can hear it. And then after that, the teacher should show pictures of each thing and what each thing does and how it works. Yeah, that's a little bit about the vocabulary. Now kind of for the different rules, we learned about designing lessons and the importance of rules and how rules are, just a rule of the lesson that you're learning. So for the life cycle of a plant, a rule could be the three things that plants need to grow. So that could be a rule, but it doesn't really explain it. It says, yeah, students will be able to name the three things plants need to grow. But I think what they should do here is just kind of label them out. So maybe they could put, water, sun, soil. And so they could have those things, water, sun, soil. Plants need these to grow, and that's a rule. And then they could put an if-then statement. Our book talks about if-then statements and how that is super helpful when it comes to understanding rules. So the teacher could be like, if the plant does not get enough water, then it will not grow. Or if the plant does not get sun, then it will not grow, because that is a rule because, plants both need water and sun to grow. Something else that I think will be super helpful when describing the rules and what plants need to grow is having examples and non-examples. So I think the teacher could put a picture up on the board of a plant and someone watering it, and the teacher can be like, is this something that plants need to grow? Is this a rule? And they could be like, yes, no. And then the teacher could put up a non-example. Maybe the teacher putting, or maybe the teacher shows a picture of someone putting the plant under a basket, which obviously wouldn't be a rule for the plant to grow and then it would be in the shade and unable to get sunlight. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the organization for instruction of this lesson plan. And so I really like how the teacher here has the materials and preparation. This is just going to make the lesson plan flow really smooth. They have this book, so that'll be a good visual for the kids to see. They'll be able to kind of see the different, plants and roots and all the things that they're going to learn. They have the plant life cycle flashcards, which is at the end of this, and the plant life cycle worksheet, which is also at the end. I think that's super helpful because it just kind of gives them something to see and to work on as they finish this lesson. The pencil, crayons, and flip chart, I think those are all, super important materials, and it's good that she has those listed just to keep things flowing and organized. I think that's something that would be super helpful is to, have the projector or smartboard showing the kids what a seed looks like, what a root looks like, what the plant looks like, what the root system looks like, things like that, so they can see it. So these will just be, visual cues and visual things that will help the students understand what they are learning. Also, I think it'd be super helpful if the teacher puts pictures up on the wall, maybe of the sun watering and water and coming down to a plant in order for it to grow. So putting charts and different posters up on the wall and then having it on the projector and then obviously, having the kids being in their seat where they can see it really well. And this all goes into the climate of the classroom. Our book talks about how important climate is, and this is just, developing that positive environment where kids can see everything well, they can have visuals to see it, and everything is organized well. The seats are organized where they can see everything so that they feel like they are in a positive learning environment. Another key thing about organization that I'm going to point out has to do here with this independent work time. So the teacher says, once you've discussed the book as a class, challenge students to fill out the life cycle of a plant diagram. So they're going to work on the worksheet. Well, I think something that will really help with organization here is that she or the teacher should arrange the seats so that the students can easily share answers with a partner. I think this is super effective for students to be able to learn to work together, to share answers and to help each other. And I think it's just a super valuable life lesson. And so the teacher can organize the seats so that it's super easy for students to work, either in groups of 3 or just partners of 2, something like that. I really like how the teacher breaks these different learning objectives and what they're going to do in minutes. It kind of gives the teacher just a template to go off of and helps them look at the time so that they can kind of keep track of where they need to be. I like how the teacher wants to kind of stack her education here both about learning about math, counting the sequences and the steps of the plant life cycle, and science, being able to plant wheatgrass in the classroom. Now, something that I would change for this, if they really did want to plant wheatgrass, I think in the materials section, the teacher needs to put seeds, dirt, the pot, and everything so that they'll be able to actually do it. Because if the materials aren't there, it won't be organized, and the class isn't gonna be able to plant the wheatgrass just because it won't be set up. So having that in the materials will greatly help the organization of the lesson plan. Finally, I think review and closing is super important for any lesson plan. Just after they finish all of the worksheets and the things that they were going to do, just going over what they learned. Asking the students, what are the 3 things plants need to grow? What is the root? What is the sun, and how does it give food to the plant? Things like that. Just kind of going over what they learned and closing that way. And as we come down here, this is the worksheet. This is the sequence, and they're going to place these in the correct sequence here, which I think is awesome. And I think one thing that the teacher could do and put in the lesson plan is have the students fill this out. The ones that are really well done, she could hang up in the classroom. This just helps the students see their work, feel good about their work, and it reminds them of the lesson that they learned, and it reminds them of that great lesson that they learned and the opportunity that they had to learn about how the life cycle of plants and how it works. So that is kind of my critique on this lesson plan and the things that it does well. I hope you enjoyed this and found this analysis very helpful. Thank you very much.